You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the June 4th, 2024 meeting of the LaPorte County Parks and Recreation Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
I'd like to call the LaPorte County Park Board meeting to order. Can we have a roll call?
That's Amanda. Here. Mike.
Here.
Mary Nell. Here. Nick.
Here.
Jim.
Here.
Ron.
Here.
And Mary. Here. All right. Full house.
Let's stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. The flag is directly behind me. Up in the tree. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay. Everybody get a chance to look at the agenda. We're going to add a request for funding to replace the roof at Red Mill County Park. So that is in need of repair, so we're going to do that later in new business. So if you can make that adjustment. I'll try to remember that when we get to that point. Okay. Any other changes of the agenda? Hearing none, can I have a motion to approve the agenda as updated?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Everybody have a chance to look at the minutes? Any changes to the minutes? Additions, subtractions, deletions? Hearing none, can I have a motion to approve the minutes as written?
I'll make that motion.
And second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Public comment. Do you have any public comment?
Put it on the spot.
No. Okay.
I do,
Okay.
if you don't mind.
Don't mind at all.
Please, that could, I kind of got other.
Taking off that
Right.
Okay.
I just wanted to bring you up to speed on the new park that we're proposing in Bowling Prairie, where the highway department used to be, or 40 acres. Most of it's a lake, which is like the main attractions there for it. I didn't hear any complaints about taking that on. In fact, it's all been pretty positive. But it's on our commissioner's agenda for tomorrow. So sign it over. So we'll be calling it Sebeki Park probably. But I've talked with Dr. White at the New Prairie, and said he's got kids in school there with the different organizations that are into like conservation or whatever. And he said they would love to have a chance, because they probably get extra credit, to come out and walk around and kind of give us some ideas about maybe a trail, or we were talking about maybe a little pier or something for kids to fish off of. There are fish in there. And so Dr. White said, just let me know what you want and when you want it. He said the kids are anxious to do that. Also Larry Cadwell, Larry, at the Conservation Club of Rolling Prairie. They're older gentlemen, they don't really do a lot anymore, but they're good for ideas. And they jumped at the chance. They said, we'd love to be a part of that. I said, you're on. And then there's no hurry to do anything with the park, because everything's going to take money, but we started getting some ideas. What do we want to do? You got that old building. I don't know if we're fixing up or not. The little house up on the road, I'd bulldoze that stuff there in a minute. It's junk. But the barn, I know when I went out there to visit the highway boys, it was raining real hard, and rain went down the hill, and they came in the door, they were sitting at a table like this eating, and it ran down past them and out the back door. That can do it. But if you get into a situation where you need equipment, like with the highway department, not a problem. Just let me know, and we'll get them to come out and help out. I can't even read. Oh yeah. There's been a lady called me a couple of years ago when she found out that we building a new facility for highway. So if you decide you want to sell that land, let me know. And I don't really know her real well. I worked in NIPSCO with her dad. Anyway, she called me again, probably, might have been earlier this year or late last year, on what they're doing with it. I said, well, what would you think about it being a county park? You know, well, we kind of really wanted to build a house there and stuff, but she said, I suppose that'd be okay. She said, what I worry about is people know the difference between this is the park and this is my block, this is my land. Because I don't want people wandering around on my property. I said, well, I don't know, I don't think we'd put up a fence necessarily, but there would be some kind of demarcation to let you know that that's not park over there, you know. So, other than that, unless you guys got any other suggestions or complaints or whatever, tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, commission meeting, it's on the agenda, and sign it over. That sound good?
Sounds good. Yeah.
Well, something I wanted to, so I got myself back on this committee, something I wanted to get done, because I've got 210 days left, the commissioner, and I wanted to get that done before I left. When we got the sewer lines in Rolling Prairie, we got the new sidewalks in Rolling Prairie, we got the new MATMA face in Rolling Prairie. This is the one last thing I wanted to get for my little town, is to get the park. And I'm meeting Friday, there's a bunch of us from New Carlisle and from South Bend and from our economic development people and some from our RDC. We're going to get together and talk about mutual aid for each other, because you know what's going on in New Carlisle and South Bend between there. They're looking at housing, we need housing. We'll run the sewer line to Hudson Lake and Saugony Lake. That's going to pop someday. That's going to be, who would not want to live by a lake, you know? And once we get the sewer line here, we'll be able to improve a lot of things. We want to talk about sharing utilities, sewer and water, that kind of stuff. So I'm thinking that park is perfect right there with all of the new people coming in and the new jobs and stuff coming in. It's gonna pop. You know, people bring the kids out there to do fishing and whatever. So that's what we're doing. If you got no complaints, then Katie by the door. I'm going full speed ahead.
Rick, is there a chance that the RDC might provide some financing to?
Well, I've already talked to probably the best grant writer in history, Mitch Bishop, and he said we'll be looking at stuff there between him and Jeremy, get some grants to get some stuff going, make a few improvements. There was an issue, I don't know if you remember, something we fought for years. The whole 8 years I was on the council, where they had an underground storage tank for fuel, and it was leaking, and we got it out of there, and IDEM would come out and check every year, and it got to where they're going, oh yeah, your water's clean. Okay, well then sign off so we can have it, you know? 6 months later, oh, we checked your water again, it's still clean. Well then, we finally got them to sign off, because we don't have an issue there.
That's great.
So, whatever we want to do. Canoes, maybe, yeah.
That's something.
Maybe a fishing pier. Barry probably walk barefoot as we play.
I don't know about that.
Okay,
Maybe
kids,
flip-flops.
if that's all you got, I've got someplace I gotta be.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Rick.
Peace.
Thank you, brother. See you soon.
Take care. Okay, financial reports.
I'm just gonna say, for people that might be watching, do we want to provide a name, the county commissioner?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I've got that
It's on YouTube channel.
yeah, it's under property committee, so I think we
Okay.
can kind of elaborate on that as we, thank you. As far as the financial report, we'll see. You know, it's June, we're doing okay for June, but more so than we typically are in some of those numbers. Revenue's been good, so that's helping offset some of that as well. No red flags in that financial report. I think I sent the actual balance, you know, the level. Kathy keeps a couple of, maybe a week ago or so, but nothing major.
Okay. Looks pretty normal. Okay, Jeremy, you want to do a little report?
Yeah, and I've got several things I want to highlight there, and then one that I actually want to add in at the end of it. So Bloom, the DNR Bloom project update, I actually gave you a map or a drawing of, and that is it's conceptual at this point still, but so the land that we'd be getting through this DNR project, the park right now is this blue line, all of this over here, right? And then some on this side of the road as well. This whole section where all this wetland and purple and blue is, that's all new land. Okay, so that's the land that they will be purchasing and doing work and then giving to us. One of the things I wanted to mention, and one of the things I asked them to do, was to give us kind of an idea of where the trail will be. Because right now the trail, is about 1.25 miles through that small section there where the yellow line starts. And then it goes up and just kind of makes a loop back. So it's about 1.25 miles, because I went out and walked it the other day and checked it. And I just wanted to make sure that we weren't going to lose a bunch of mileage of trail, by doing this project. I was going to try to make sure that we, and so I had them kind of get an estimate on what this would be, and it was 1.29 miles. So it's almost the exact same amount. It's not quite as windy and on itself. It's more spread out. This section of trail, you'll see, most mountain bike trails don't go out and come back. But I asked them, I said, okay, so how is this going to work? I can't put a single track trail out there and have bikes going both ways. And they said, no, this trail will be 8 feet wide. It'll be more of a wider trail that everybody, they can walk several people wide or ride both ways, or the horses as well on there. So those are things I'm still working out with them and just the preliminary discussions, but I wanted to make sure we were thinking of these things before the project really gets going, and helping them so that we're not throwing a monkey wrench into their design part. The trail will have a, so the other thing is that small section I pointed out over here that is already parked will be in an easement after this, which means the DNR, because they're rerouting that stream and all that, it means that they're putting restrictions on it so that we won't be able to develop it, we won't be able to put new trails in, we won't be able to do anything over that stream or around that stream or things like that. The trail itself is not in an easement. Okay, so that's not part of the easement, even out here. But I just want to let you know that they will be basically purchasing an easement on that part of the property so that it protects their work. They're putting a lot of money into that stream restoration, and obviously we don't want to go back in there and change anything after they do all that restoration work either. So anyway, that's where we're at on that. It's moving forward. They're working on getting a purchase. They got a purchase agreement, so that's all signed and ready to go. So now they're working on getting the actual purchase done so that they can have that in their hands.
That's great.
Seasonal hiring update. Our last seasonal hire will be hired on Monday. So we'll be at full staff. Minus our program coordinator, or program. EEC roof was kind of a, I had gotten pricing to redo the roofs, both roofs, excuse me, the one at our main office and the one at the EEC. Both of them are 20 to 25 years old. So I was like, we really need to start thinking about this. So I'm going to start getting pricing. I was looking at solar panels on the main building. So I thought, well, I'll just get both buildings at this same time, right? And so I got prices. And then my guy was over there cleaning during one of these horrible rains and was like, the roof over here is leaking. So I was like, obviously we have to move on this and try to get some done. So we were able to use non-reverting funds to go ahead and pay for that roof and get it done. The contractor was able to fit us in and get it done in one day. So it's done, shingled roof and ready to go. Mower purchase for Bloom had the mower we had out there was a 104-inch backwing mower. It's about 10 years old. Honestly, it's way too big to be trying to have our seasonals run, and it's a zero-turn mower, but it's a tough mower to operate. It has been ever since we've had it, right? We got it before I got here, but we constantly had issues with them running into things, not obviously purposely, but it's a 104-inch mower. Most mowers are about half that, so it was still running, still operating, but we were starting to have some issues with it. Had to re-weld things on the deck because it gets hit and things get broken. But anyway, so we got pricing for a new Skag mower, and it was $15,539. I was able to get a $7,500 donation from our Park Foundation. The fairgrounds wanted the old mower, the 104-inch, because they have wide open space and just go back and forth. And they gave the FMEC gave us $3,000 for that mower, and then the county council put in the rest for $4,539. So we already have that mower as well. The other thing I wanted to add in there under superintendent's report was, we got that grant for that pedestrian and bicycle plan. And I want to include the planning committee in that, the selection of the vendor, and somebody from the planning committee maybe be on the committee that we have to help put this plan together and stuff. So, Amanda and Mary Nell, I'll probably be looking to you guys to help us select that vendor and move forward with this plan. The request for qualifications is due on the 30th of this month, so at the end of the month they've got about a month to get them to us. I've already sent them out, and we'll hopefully have that. I know we have quite a few interested. I met with one contractor today, and I know we've got a couple of other ones that are interested, so we'll have several people get back to us on that. And that's the maintenance crew is, they put a new ceiling. I think I sent out pictures of that. They put a new ceiling in the shelter at Bloom, the Grove shelter. We've had constant troubles with English sparrows nesting above, food areas, and what happens when they nest above there and take off. So we enclosed that whole area. It's the same type of ceiling as what's over here at the other shelter. So it's really, really nice. Looks good. They redid. The roof was redone, and then now they're going to be working on the broken up concrete around it. We had some sagging there, so kind of spending quite a bit of time and money over there at Bloom this year. The Park Foundation has paid for all of these projects. So lots of good stuff going on out there. If you don't mind, check it out. Program report. April, you want to say anything about your programs?
I think that we've had a really good spring. We've had quite a few programs, particularly with the eclipse. We had over 300 people, I think, at this park, and maybe, roughly around 150, a lot less at Creek Ridge, and then, but I think that they were in school. So, being that it was during spring break, our spring break, LaPorte's spring break, that definitely was why I think we saw so many people here that we were. But I definitely think partnering with the library has been a huge success, and we're going to continue to partner with the library on future programs. The library has a telescope, and they want to start doing. They wanted to work with me on the night lights, so we're going to hopefully try to look at the moon with a telescope, which should be a pretty cool program coming up in this on June 20th, I believe. So yeah, that. we definitely, oh, and at Bloom, we did have a pretty amazing, I think at least 100 people came to that program with the night hike, with the hay rides. So, and that was on May 4th, so it was Star Wars themed, which we definitely saw a lot of people dressed in Star Wars gear, which really was pretty cool. That's fun. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's about all I have on the superintendent report.
Okay. Very good. And that's maintenance programs and park counts are basically on the back page. Okay, let's go to the committee, standing committee reports. Executive committee does not have a report. Budget committee? Nick?
The only thing that we have, I believe, the budget's going to be the same. I think the only increase would be for a study to fund on lake property. And Jeremy, if you'd like to elaborate on that.
Yeah, so I think what we need to have, and Rich kind of started to allude to that with the students and stuff, but it's an input from the school. And, but I think what we really are going to have first thing is a good professional plan with public input and things like that for that property. And then what I think could happen from that is that we piece it together, right? We don't have to ask for the huge, very large amount of money to do everything at once, but we get it to where it is a park instead of just, it's not a park at this point. We all know, it's a highway department property, it's just it's a lake, and there would be access to a lake if we wanted to say, okay, we could open it up, but it's not safe and ready to go, right? So the first thing will be to get that plan, and so and the increase that Nick alluded to was in the consultant fees. And I threw a number out there. I talked to a consultant we've dealt with in the past, Pat Brown, who, by the way, is pretty much retired. He's doing just a few things here and there, not anything real big. But he indicated that anywhere from 25 to 30,000 would get us a really good plan that could be used to move forward with grants. And you get that plan and you have it in the plan, makes you eligible for grants and things like that. So we could add that to a 5-year plan as an amendment, and then if there's a grant available to do something with the property, we can move towards that. So that's the only other change in the budget, which I realized today would be a decrease in the full-time program salary, which is the 10195, kind of up towards the top middle on that spreadsheet that I gave you guys. It'll be because Kara resigned, the salary would go back to the original salary instead of what she was making, so it'd be a little bit less there, but that's the only. And if you look at this spreadsheet I gave you, I highlighted those ones on the right, and those are to show you that just last year we increased several. That's probably the most increases we've had in line items since I've been here. That was, we did increase a lot of those, and that's part of the reason why this, the financial report actually still has money in a lot of accounts. Usually, as several of you know, by June, July, we're already running out of some of those line items. So these increases have helped us keep those out of the zeros.
I think these are the largest increases I've seen since I've been here.
Yeah.
So, and they're appropriate because we've not had increases for a long time.
So by saying that is one of the reasons I don't really want to feel right about asking for a lot of other increases in these line items. When it seems to be we're doing okay. We'll know later in the year kind of where we end up, but I think that's where we're at. So down here we've got under new business. When we get to it, I'd like to get a vote to approve these changes that I have on that sheet so that I can submit budget for the 2025 year. So when we get to it.
We'll get to that. Okay. Anything else for the budget committee?
No.
Not it? Okay. Personnel committee?
So as Jeremy kind of stated, Kara has resigned from her recreational educational programmer position, so they're actively interviewing right now, so be on the lookout for potential candidates.
should have, I think by the end of the week, we should have an announcement on that.
You should have a what?
An announcement on
Announcement.
who we're recommend, putting forward the human resources. So.
In the process of doing the interviews at this point, so. Property committee.
I can tell you.
I think Rich pretty much filled that.
Yeah, we've kind of talked about almost everything there. I think I mentioned the need for a plan. We don't want to go into this and just try to hurry up and get it open. We want to make a really nice park. And I think Rich is right. There's a lot going on out there in New Carlisle, and we just heard today that Microsoft's coming into LaPorte. There's a lot going on. The addition or the possibility of that addition of a new park up there soon, I think, is a really good thing. I think there's opportunities for money. I mean, if the solar farm goes in up there in Rolling Prairie area, that's somebody we could probably go to and say, hey, you made a lot of people upset. Let's see if we can help us out with this new park up in the area where you're, doing this. Who knows? There's probably going to be quite a few potential donors to help us improve that park with all that's going on up there in New Carlisle. And I think it's coming at a good time, both for the park, for the people that are going to be living up there, looking for housing and all of that stuff. So.
Okay. Planning committee. The future of the health cabin at Red Mill.
After the last meeting, we had a chance to walk through that facility.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah. And it's kind of sad that, it's been abandoned. It would have served other uses, but its time is kind of gone, it looks like to me. So, that's.
I don't know that there's any idea, especially because of access. It's just hard to think you could
schedule events up there.
Yeah, I mean, we have used it for educational things for like 5th grade or Envirothon. And but this year the guy who was going to be in there basically said, I'm very sensitive to mold, and I can't. As soon as I walk in here, I smell it. Right? We can't heat it, you can't cool it all the time to try to make that go away. You can't justify putting any money into the building. It's unfortunate. I don't know that we turned the electricity off to it just recently, just because I was like, we're paying $40 a month for no reason. We're not even going to use it for Envirothon.
Would we be able to keep what we were talking about before, get the cement pad for it, the foundation?
Yeah. We definitely could do that. I wish it was on top of the hill because it would be a wonderful, there's a restroom in it. I mean, we could use it as a restroom, but even down there, it's like, okay, are we going to have to clean this thing just for the one person that might use it a week when they have a porta-john up on top of the hill and nice restrooms in the office at Red Mill? It's just, location is just a really bad location. I don't know if we need to make a decision on anything tonight on it, but just, I agree, maybe the cement pad, maybe a small, small shelter where you could have a picnic or whatever. If somebody wanted to do it down the hill away from everything.
Would it fit 1 or 2 picnic tables?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very good size.
That may be an alternative. Mold is a deal breaker for a lot of people, myself included. My body just doesn't tolerate that, and I paid the price for a long time, for days and days after being exposed to mold. So it may be, we'll just put a shelter up there, a roof and something that's open that isn't going to be susceptible for that. It might be, another alternative to at least think about.
A new life.
A new life, yes. I like repurposing.
I think Mary Nell had I think it was you that said something about maybe a little birding shelter where people.
Of course I did.
Of course.
Birds.
Yes. So who knows? Something like that, an idea like that could be something we talk about. Maybe you lure some birds in there, and people can sit there and watch them.
Like a little bird line, it doesn't take much to make it work.
Yeah, it wouldn't take much. So any ideas are on the table. If somebody has an idea, let us know.
Okay, I do not see any old business. New business. Approval of the 2025 LaPorte County Parks operating budget request. Do we need to add the council request for the roof replacement to that, or is that a separate?
No, so then I'd like to go to them before that.
Okay.
And they may tell me put it in your budget, but if they do, I can change that.
Okay. So does everybody have a chance to look? I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory. We're about the same as we were last year with one exception, so if anybody has any questions? Hearing none, can we have a motion to accept the operating budget request as written? And a second?
I second.
Okay, all in favor? Ayes have it. And the request for the council for replacement of the roof at Leadville.
So I had three companies come and give us a bid. I had them do shingles and I had them do standing seam metal. I think I would love to see us do the standing seam metal, because if we are able to do the solar panels, they clamp right to that standing seam instead of putting a hole in your
roof. Yeah.
And I think longevity-wise, you're looking at twice probably the longevity on that standing seam as opposed to the shingles at least. The three bids, so what I'm asking for is just permission to present this to the commission.
Okay.
And then permission to ask the council if they can fund it. And the reason I don't want to ask for it next year is because the ARP, there is still ARP money.
Okay.
And if we can get it approved this year, then we can. If not, then we push it off till next year and we keep asking, because this is a 25-year-old thing. Yeah. So what I would like to do is ask them, if they're gonna fund it, hey, we'll be happy with shingles, but for twice the price, we could get
Twice the one
standing seam and,
But with the addition of the solar panels, if when you have a problem with shingles, those solar panels got to come down to replace.
Cost you a whole lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, so the lowest price was JB West, and it was $51,000 for a little over $51,000 for the standing seam, and $28,888 for the shingles. The others were $30,650 for the shingles for our networking, and $76,400 for the standing seam, and then for our net it was $79,120 for the standing seam, $28,000. So they were actually a little bit lower on the shingle price. So if they want to go with the shingles, we could go with our net.
At least we have an idea they're all in the ballpark anyway.
So I just am basically asking for permission from the board to go to the commissioners to see if they'll give me permission to go to the council and ask for funding.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, can I have a motion to approve of Jeremy going to the council to get approval for the moving forward on the replacement of the roofs at Red?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Okay. Board and staff comments.
I wanted to wish Kara well. I hope everything works out for her. She decided to take another job. She was a very creative mind for us for the year and a half that we had her. But in the end, she's hoping that this new job is a better situation for her, and we hope that she does well and it works out as well as she hopes it will.
Any other comments? Okay. Hearing none, can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? So moved. And a second.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, and we will see you in August at Creek Ridge County Park.
Creek Ridge.